Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques.
Halt.
Jacques.
Halt.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is your way here on Bleacher Report. What is going on? If you're watching it in any other platform, it's not live, but it is live today on Bleacher Report. So, Jacques, we are here, bro. Hey, man, we got to talk minicamp, dude.
For sure. You know, it's already starting. We get into it, man. And minicamp has been kind of interesting. Well, kind of. Yeah, you can say there's some interesting things that we're about to get into that's been discussed that we see and everything. So we'll just hop right in it, though. So
let's go. Let's get it.
I'm going to say not yesterday, but about 2 days ago, Will Levis, I think, had one of his worst days in camp. And it was a big deal kind of made out of it, right? And we know things happen. So from what you see, is Will Levis struggling? And if so, let me ask you that like this. Do you think he's struggling from what you've seen, what you've heard? And if so, why? Give us an explanation of why do you think he's struggling, if you think so.
Jacques, that's a great question. So looking at camp right now from the videos that I've seen, I've looked at it, we're not there physically to see it. At times we haven't been there yet. I have seen some struggles with Will Levis. Is he struggling? Yes. From what I've seen, from what I've read, we only can go for what we see. I see some struggles there, but I would say, is there any concerns? I think right now it's too early to judge right now. You know what I mean? This is a whole different, different coaches, different schemes, different players. It takes a while. Will Levis is just in his second year. So it's going to take time for quarterbacks to gel and those things. They don't even have full pads yet. But what I do like what Coach Callahan is saying about Will Levis as far as him getting better, what he needs to do to get better. That's coaching. It's not just throwing him out there and hoping he does well, right? He sees things. He's been advising as far as Will Levis, as far as his reads, the fact that at times Will Levis might, he might not throw it directly to where he needs as far as pretty much trusting his receivers of where they need to be, right? Sort of holds on the football and then makes a late read at times that could be an interception, could be an incomplete pass. Receiver could have already ran the route. Will Levis throws it late. So those things Will Levis is going to have to work on because normally Will Levis will just throw the ball, right? So I think he's just trying to learn to adapt the way that Brian Callahan wants it to work. I think Will Levis, again, with new receivers, are going to have to understand and say, hey, I just don't have D-Hop. I got Calvin Ridley. I got Tyler Boyd. I got other guys as well that I can throw the football to. And I got to trust my offensive line as well, too, because last year he got sacked so many times. He's probably very jittery back there, right? Probably nervous in a way. It's just kind of just kind of human nature of what he's had to deal with. So Callahan has been with Joe Burrow. He understands what a good quarterback is and what he needs. And I think he's trying to coach Will Levis to that. Will Levis has the ability. He's got to put it all together. And my concern, not yet, it's very early, but Will Levis will have to learn and pick it up and get better as days go on. So that's kind of what I see right now. What about for you, Jacques?
Well said. Facts, no paper, Hawk. Again, like you said, it's a new scheme. He's actually getting coached up. Not saying the last coaching regime didn't coach him up, but it's everything is new. So with everything being new, only familiar receivers. Just a couple of familiar receivers that he has, but he has Burks and D-Hop. But he didn't really throw to Burks like that. Burks was hurt most of the year, and his safety blanket is D-Hop. When you have a safety blanket like D-Hop, everything looks pretty good, right? That's what happened last year. But now you're learning how to play the position all around, right? You just can't rely on your big arm that you have. And that's what Callahan is coaching. He's like, hey, you got a big arm. That's cool. But what else? You got to learn how to read the field, get it out a little bit, make better decisions, get it out a little bit more quicker. Don't hold on to the ball this long. Do this versus this. So you'll rather for him to, kind of sounds weird, but to make mistakes in training camp and mini camp and preseason and get it out early. And then that way, when it comes into the season, he's going to be straight. Now, you are playing a decent defense, a decent secondary. Like, you got to take that into equation too. He's not throwing to the third or fourth stringers anymore. Remember, in training camp, he was throwing to the third and fourth stringers. Now you starting quarterback. You're going against the starting defense. So I have a feeling that when it comes down to actual training camp and Snead gets in there, Awuzie gets in there. When they get to going 7-on-7, you're gonna start hearing a little bit more. Hey, passes deflected here, interception from Sneak. But it makes you better because you're going against arguably the number one corner in the league last year, which they still don't give us credit for. This what gets on my nerves sometimes. But we have the number one corner. We have two decent, good corners, right? Number one, 1A, 1B. And then you got Roger McQuarrie, who's out there is playing solid defense. So, again, this is what I expected. I expected this coming into mini camp, training camp. This is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to see mistakes. I'm expecting to see because he's still learning the position. He's learned the position, but he's learning the position. He's learning. And you have a different set of eyes on you now to where they're saying, okay, hey, you can do this a little better. You can do this better. You can do that better. You can do that better. And it's good for him to grow as a pro. You need criticism. We gave you praise last year, but this year we really need you to step up. We really need you to do what you need to do. So iron sharpens iron. I'm not concerned. This is what I expected. This is what I expect probably in the first part of the season, and then I think he's going to level out and get comfortable and start doing what he's doing. So that's for me.
Okay. Facts, no paper, Jacques. Thanks to everybody that's in the chat as well, man. Shout out to everybody that's out there. Shout out Cookie Cutter, Bringing the Wood, Daryl Bills, Shady Prods. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all joining in onto the show. So, looking at this as far as camp as well, too, Jacques, we got the poll question out there as well, as far as we want to know what you all think as far as Will Levis's early struggles, and are you concerned? Throw that out there. All right, so the question I have for you as far as camp, of course, camp brings in the best competition. There's people that are literally trying their best to win jobs. That's just part of it, right? To be on the team. 53-man roster. There's not a lot of players on the team. So what do you think so far has been, as far as position, the biggest competition in camp so far? What would you say it is, man?
So I'm gonna say this like this. It's not training camp yet, but it's working up to be a competition. I would say guard and also right tackle. That offensive line, the left side to me is sure up. The left side, man, we ain't got to worry about nothing on the left side. We're good. But that right side has got a big question mark on it to who's going to be starting. Jalen Duncan, Nicholas Petit-Frere. What are we doing at right tackle, right? I'm not trying to draft nothing. I'm just saying, at right tackle, what are we doing, right? Who's going to step up and be that leader in that right tackle position? Guard, you got Brunskill, but also you got Dylan Raditz, who the coaching staff wants him to play guard. Sounds like they like him. Sounds like they saying, hey, you got an opportunity to step up. Brunskill is not young. We need Raditz to step up because he does have that youth to him. We can go from there. We're good. So that's for me. That's what I'm seeing competition-wise. And for me, what can lead up to training camp and can lead up to start and be like, okay, they got a competition going on. This is going. What about you, Hawk?
Facts, no paper. Again, we got the poll question out there as far as what you all think is the biggest competition so far. So for me, I think the biggest competition in mini camp so far, Jacques, I'm gonna have to agree with you here, sir. I'm saying right tackle. Brian Callahan had stated the other day about Dylan Radins, and it could be a smoke screen, but he said that Dylan Radins is a guard. Okay. And we've always thought that even when we drafted him as a tackle, I was like, Dylan Radins is more of a guard, right? And so, looking at the roster going into camp, I think Dylan Radins was going to be slated as the starting right tackle. Given if Radins is a guard, then you have the guard position with him and Brunskill. I think Brunskill would win the right guard spot. To your point, your left tackle, J.C. Latham, left guard, Peter Skoronski, center Lord, Kirsten Berry. That is what it is, right? Left side is done. The blind side for Will Levis, that part is already settled. I think right guard, I think Daniel Brunskill has it. So it's more about, is Nicholas Petit-Frere going to be the guy right tackle? Is it going to be him? Are we going to slide, say, Jalen Duncan? Jalen Duncan is more of a left tackle, but can Jalen Duncan play right tackle? I think right tackle is a problem. I think right now it's a hole on our team, and we have to figure that out. I mean, we have other guys like Andrew Ruppich. We have another guy, John Adroku. We got Brian Doolis. A whole bunch of guys is fighting right now for that right tackle spot. Who is it going to be? Who's going to be at right tackle, right? So, I would hope Dylan Radins, but I think Radins is a guard. I think that it is what it is. And it sucks to have a second-round pick that's a backup because Nicholas Petit-Frere is a third-round pick. So I'm thinking Nicholas Petit-Frere going into the season will be our right tackle. I think that's where the biggest competition is going to be. We need to shore that right tackle spot up, man, before the season starts, man. So I think that's where the biggest competition is.
I like that. Yeah, I can I can definitely again rock with that. So we're gonna get into the next segment. Who in mini camp has stood out to you so far? Who looks great? Who are you hearing about? Who's presenting some type of buzz?
Well, I'll tell you this, man. There's a few players that, and we got that poll question out there, by the way, as well, too. So I'm going to say right now it's Calvin Ridley. Okay. Calvin Ridley's routes are amazing. Catching the football has never been a problem with Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley looks hungry. Calvin Ridley looks like, hey, man, I really want to do something here in Tennessee. I'm happy to be here. If you already got D-Hop on one side, you got Calvin Ridley. And then you got Tyler Boyd in the slot. Again, last year, Tyler Boyd was the number 1 rated slot receiver in the entire NFL. So it's like with Calvin Ridley, it's like, man, dude, I can get open. And I run Chris routes. And Calvin Ridley had a really good season last year. I think Calvin Ridley might be our most underrated player. When you look at the rankings, as far as receivers in the league, like top 15, you never really see Calvin Ridley's name in the mix. So I think he has a lot to prove to say, man, these guys must have forgot what I did in Atlanta. Yes, my situation was my fault. I had to sit out a year or so. But I think, in Jacksonville, he stepped up. And I think this year with a big contract, I've seen Calvin Ridley really step up in camp so far. I've been very impressed with what I've seen out of Calvin Ridley. Speed, routes, hands, the ability's there, right? That's why we're hearing Traylon Burks, playing special teams as a gunner because, like, man, we got 3 solid receivers. These guys are going to start. Calvin Ridley can do something. I've been very impressed with Calvin Ridley so far for the Titans in camp, man. What about you, Jacques?
I'm going twofold here. I'm going Jaquan Jackson, which I like what I've seen from a route standpoint. I know everybody has him slated as a special team, as a kick return. I actually like to see. I like what he's doing when it comes from a route perspective. He's been kind of impressive in camp. And then Jack Gibbons, Dr. Gibby, man, again, he's out there. He has the green dot. He's the leader of the linebacker so far. So I've been impressed of what he's been able to do from the task that's been given him to say, hey, who's going to step up? Well, who's going to step up? Who's going to step up? You expect a rookie to do it, but he's a rookie, right? So that's 2 people for me that has really impressed me.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. We got a lot of good chat in the chat as well, man, through Bleacher Report. So this is our time, y'all. This is our favorite part of the show. It's called the Live Chop Up. So for those who are new to our show, this is an opportunity for you all to ask us questions. We'll spotlight good questions. We'll bring it up there, and we'll answer those questions. We'll fire them off, man. Let's get it in. Live Chop Up session in play.
All right. Hawk, I think I'm gonna shoot this question towards you first. Would you trade Big Jeff for Tristan? I guess it's Wirfs.
Tristan Wirfs from Tampa.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. No. Jeffrey Simmons we need our defensive line is actually probably one of our weakest positions as far as as far as depth, not starters, but depth. We need Jeffrey Simmons. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Tristan Wirfs is an unbelievable lineman. Don't get me wrong, but no, they're not going to give up Tristan Wirfs, man. Tristan Wirfs is going to be their left tackle for 10 years, man. No. What about you, Jacques?
No, I wouldn't even look at that, man, and entertain that. I mean, great. I respect your thought process on that because you're trying to get better in the trenches. But no, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. Let me see here. Snap says, hold on, I just had it up on pen. Give me 1 minute. Yep. How worried should we be about our safety depth? I'm worried. I am. I've expressed this on several occasions. I am. Personally, it's my opinion. I am worried. Yes, I am. Because of the fact that Molden, he's okay. He's okay. He has to stay healthy. But I want a legit safety back there. Justin Simmons is still on the market. Again, I don't know if the conversations have been had. I know the price tag is probably a little bit too high for the Titans liking. But, it seems like they're rocking with the young bull Hooker and Molden. But I am worried. What depth do we really have? But, if one of them goes down, Hawk, what is our depth chart looking like? Yeah. Who do we have behind them when we can really say, okay, hey, they can step up and do their thing? No, we need to look at reevaluate safety, like in my opinion. What about you, Hawk?
Yeah, you all can't see it on my screen, but I'm sweating right now. That's how worried I am about our safety position. You know what I mean? So I think players like Justin Simmons right now, of course, I know that's been the favorite to come here as far as at safety. And I think he himself is just kind of looking at everything probably before he makes a decision. But I think, yeah, safety, Amani Hooker's got to step up this year. This is an opportunity for Hooker to be a leader in the defensive backfield. He was just paid last year. I think this is an opportunity for him. But outside of that, Molden is a groundhog safety, but he can't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? When he is healthy, he makes certain plays, but it's not like, oh, we're good. Yes, I'm concerned about safety. I think they're looking at Awuzie and they're looking at L'Jarius Sneed. Like, when we got two solid corners, our safeties don't have to just be just great, but we need another safety. Because if something happens to Hooker and Molden, which might happen probably, right? They both do get hurt. You got players like Shaheem Carter, Mike Brown, and Matthew Jackson.
No, bro.
So that's going to be a problem, right? So, yes, I'm concerned. Very concerned.
No, that can't cut it. And again, like you said, they putting faith in the corners. I mean, we're not playing 5 yards off no more. That crap's not happening no more. We in your face. We plain press. So shout out to that. Let's get to the next question. What's Burks' value right now? Do you wait to sell a bit higher or try to get any value possible? I went first. I'm gonna let you have this one.
So Burks' value right now is where he's at right now. There is not a sale or a buy on this guy right now. You know what I'm saying? You got a second round, a first round pick in Treylon Burks. Right now he's somewhat put himself in this hole right now for the Titans to somewhat not trust him. That's why they signed these players. So right now it's for him because they're not going to pick up his option. So right now this year he's going to have to find ways to step up and start to play. Okay, will injuries happen? Absolutely. If a receiver goes down, Treylon Burks is the next guy to step up, right? So it's on Treylon Burks. Now, again, there's been, rumors and things, and it seems to be confirmed where he's going to be on special teams. So right now, he's going to have to sort of pick himself up out the pit and get in a particular spot. This is a prove-it year for Treylon Burks. Will he ever get first-round money moving forward? Probably not. But at least right now, to stay in the league, he's going to have to step it up. So right now, he is where he's at. He does not have value, I don't think, to be traded really at all right now. He's got to step it up. He can improve on that over time, but for right now, he is where he's at, man. What about you, Jacques?
Man, if one of those rookies or those second or third year players can step up and then they outpace Burks, that team, that mystery team that wanted Burks as a via trade, I would explore it. I'd be like, hey, okay, we have a rookie or this player has stepped up in this particular moment in his fourth spot. Go for it. Why not? Shoot for it. Because, I mean, if you have one team that wants his value, go for it. Because I'm going to say this, Higgins, I think, will be a free agent next year. I'm almost guaranteed he'll probably be a free agent if he can't get paid. I can see a reunion. I can see something happening where he might come to the Titans because D-Hop is not going to be here. He's this 1 year, his last year on his deal. He's older. They're trying to get younger. You can pair Boyd, Higgins, Calvin Ridley. It's not a bad receiving core, right? Find you that third option. But if Burks can mysteriously somehow step it up, which I still believe in Burks. I do. If you can get value out of him, do what you do. Do what you do. Yeah. Okay, we got our first Malik question. Here we go. So, shout out to you, Shady Prods. My question is, how is Malik Willis still on the team? Not going to lie, Willis could be a star in the UFL. He's going to end up like Matt Corral, but worse.
Huh. What's your thoughts, Jacques?
So, this is a whole new regime that we have. Everybody got a clean slate. And people don't think that Malik is fighting for that second spot. They think Mason Rudolph has it, whatnot. Woo, 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 woo. Not only do I think Malik is fighting for a position with the Titans, but he's fighting for a position in the league. If Malik can come out in preseason and show at least that he was able to do what he did last year, he can provide some value. Now, you are allowed to keep 3 quarterbacks now, right? That emergency quarterback. So if we get rid of Malik, who possibly knows the playbook, who possibly knows the system, who will you replace him with, right? If we can go that 3 quarterback system, that 3 quarterback option that we have, you put him on a practice squad, what do, right? So he's still on the team because he still has a spot. He still has an option to play for number 2. I mean, me and Hawk have played competitive sports. Y'all probably played competitive sports. I'm a competitor. I don't give a damn if I'm sitting here talking about, well, he's better than me. I'm trying to outpace him. So in Malik's head, Malik is not just only trying to make a spot with the Titans, but he's trying to make a spot in NFL, just period. He's not a starter, unfortunately. He's more of a backup. We don't even know if he'll be on the team. But for that third spot that we have, we could do it. I like Shiloh. I do. But what is your thought process on Malik, man? Because that conversation is going to start to be a thing, Hawks. So just get ready for it.
Well, I think, man, as far as Malik still being on the team, I understand why he's on the team. You get 3 quarterbacks, right? So, I understand, him being here. This is third year here. He's a third-round pick. So the Titans invested a pretty good, a decent amount of stock in him because we traded up to get him. Yes, it's a whole different regime and things of that nature. But, as a third pick or third quarterback on the team, that's why he's on the team. So Malik Willis is going to have opportunities. When training camp is getting started and preseason's happening, we will get an opportunity to see if he's improved. So it's on Malik Willis. It's on him to see if he has improved over a particular time to be either number 3 or number 2. I think going into camp, when you look at the quarterback situation, they brought in Mason Rudolph right now, who's second, right? So, the coaching staff is like, Malik, you're going to have to really step it up if you want to be on this team. So at the end of the day, it's on Malik Willis. Will Levis is and Mason Rudolph, I think pretty much sold us in where they are right now. Mm-hmm. Can Malik jump to number 2? Depends on preseason. If Mason Rudolph struggles and Malik Willis steps up, then it's on Malik Willis. It's on Malik Willis. What is Malik Willis doing right now? Potential, yes, is there. I mean, it's as far as him going to another league, UFL, that remains to be seen. We don't know what the future holds. But he's on the team, been on the team, 3 years in the team. He's been here longer than Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. It's on Malik Willis. It's on him.
Because I'm going to say this. If he was trash, they would have been done got him like they did Cole McDowell from Hawaii. Remember we had him? He barely even made it through training camp. I think he was one of the worst quarterbacks we ever drafted. And it even made it through training camp. So the conversation, it's a great conversation. But I would like to see him either go to the Ravens. He needs to go to the Ravens because that fits his style. And I feel like that coaching staff can coach him better to fit his particular style. It might be our last question. It says, who do you think is going to win the tight end battle? I think Josh Wiley will be our surprise player this season. I
think it's good. It'll be Chig. Chig will win this position, man. Chig didn't really, I don't really think he had a great season last year, but we clearly see the ability that Chig has. And when you look at the Titans, they didn't draft the tight end this year. So that means they trust Chig and Josh Wiley. It really depends on how healthy Josh Wiley is because he got hurt last year, right? So I don't know how healthy he is right now. I haven't really seen a lot of them on camp. I've seen some things on Chig. Chig is a starting tight end. Josh Wiley will play. I mean, when tight end 2 comes in, it'll be Josh. They'll both play. I don't think it's like Chig is out there just so much more than Josh Wiley. So Chig will be the starting tight end, unless Josh Wiley just ends up being just all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, look what we have here. It's Chig for me, man. I think Chig is a better tight end. So yeah. What about you, dude?
Chig's gonna be the starter, but Wiley will. I think Wiley will step up. He has to stay healthy, but he has the potential to step up. He does. And you're right. It's Colt Brennan, whatever his name.
Cole McDonald out of the University of Hawaii. He was only
Cole
here
McDonald.
for a month.
It was Cole McDonald. It was
Cole McDonald. Right.
So when I hear people say Malik Willis is trash, and just go back and look at draft and look what John Robinson drafted previous to that, you'll see. So yeah, I believe Wiley has the potential to step up, and I believe that he has this is his time to shine, man. He does. And that's why they didn't draft another tight end, Hawk, like we wanted him to. So it's a couple of things. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yep. So
he said I got 11 jerseys on other teams.
Cool.
That's fun.
Cool. Well, listen, folks, we want to say thank you all for watching in our show, man. Hey, as always, man, we appreciate everybody here on the Bleacher Report show. And if you're watching it on YouTube or any other platform, of course, we appreciate that as well, man. Listen, if you have not followed us yet, shame on you. Follow us here on Bleacher Report at Lorenzo_the Hawk. You can follow my boy Jacques as well at Jacques Merrill. You can follow us on YouTube at Tennessee Titans Weekly. You can follow us on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7 and on Instagram at Titans Weekly, at Tennessee Titans Weekly as well too. Shout out to Bleacher Report, man.
Yep. And again, appreciate y'all for watching the show, man. And if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be here. And shout out to Bleacher Report for giving us this opportunity. And Hawk, take us out, man.
All right. Well, we hope you all have a great day, a great weekend as well too, man. And as we always say, and as we always do, Titans folks, facts.
No paper.